And you took you out of the equation. And that's what I want to drive home with all of you. That's not today's point, but because we segued there, if you can, when you start thinking about, this is a mindset thing when you're making your phone calls, listen carefully. This is a mindset thing. I want you guys all to be present to what I'm getting ready to say next. When you start thinking about, I'm nervous, I'm uncomfortable, they might tell me no, I don't feel good, I feel like a salesperson. In reality, what you're doing is you're being selfish, because you all know that you belong to a really powerful real estate group. And you know that there's people out there that genuinely need your help, Rosalind, genuinely need your help, Dahlia, genuinely need your help, Gandhi, and that you're good people, that you're honest, that you're going to give them the best service possible. And it needs to be about them. But the moment that you say, I feel uncomfortable, I'm not going to do it because I do this, is you getting in your own way from servicing someone that really needs the service. You're putting your needs, your wants, your feelings before theirs. Because if you were putting their feelings first, their thoughts, their wants, you'd be like, screw what I want. Doesn't matter how I feel. I'm going to call you today because I know for a fact, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that I'm the best agent to service you and you need help. Your home has been on the market for 6 weeks. You haven't even heard from the agent. First off, when you guys heard the lady on the phone say that yesterday, I don't know about any of you, but I sat back for like another 5 minutes. I'm like, I can't believe there are still real estate agents that operate their business that way, where they'll just ghost a client completely. Like I felt so bad. I felt so bad for her. Go ahead, Gandhi.
I said it's crazy. It's crazy to think that that's going on still.
That's what I'm saying. They need someone like Gandhi in their life to be like, yo. So it doesn't matter if she didn't answer once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, because guess what? You're the person who needs to provide that service. All right, we're going to transition quickly because we still got to role play one time and we got to talk about some certain things. So let's get into the role play with it. Who wants to hit me next? Who wants to be the client? I will be the agent. Go ahead and just unmute your mic.
I'll be the client.
Awesome. Okay, I'm going to say ring, ring, and you're just going to say hello.
Okay.
Here we go. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hi, is this Talia?
This is she.
Hi, Talia. This is Gabe with Singer Realty Group here at eXp Realty. How's it going today?
It's going good. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, you're welcome. The reason for the call today is because you contacted us online, Instagram, Facebook, website, and inquired about buying or selling a home. Is that right?
Yeah, I was just wanting to see the value of my home, but just a very general inquiry.
Perfect. That sounds good. General inquiries are okay with us. Is right now a good time for you to chat?
I have to get my kids from school, but I have a couple minutes.
Perfect. Just want to ask you a few questions and then we can just kind of go from there. Sound good?
Sure.
All right, great. So first, just fill me in on your situation and what's going on. How can we help you?
Well, I just wanted to see the value of my home, to be honest with you. I know a bunch of neighbors have sold around the area. So we bought about 5 years ago, and I just want to know like what the house is worth. Just wanting to see how much equity we've built.
Perfect. Okay. So it sounds like you guys have obviously seen your neighbors sell their homes. You're noticing values go up, and you guys are curious to know what your home is worth. Is that right?
Correct.
Perfect. All right. So based on what you're telling me, what I can do is this. We won't talk about like purchases or resales or values. I'll run some sales comparables. I'll look at the market. I'll need to know a little bit about your house, like upgrades and what you've done. And then once I have that information, what I can do is I'll provide you with 2 reports. The first report will be the CMA, which is also known as an unofficial appraisal report. It's the same thing the bank did when you purchased the property. It'll give you a list of all the sales comparables. It'll break them down with adjustments. The second report that you'll get will be the net sheet. This is going to show you what you'll walk away with after all of your closing costs. When you bought the home, you had closing costs. The homeowner that you purchased the property for, they had closing costs. So now that you're in the seller's seat, you'll also have those closing costs as well. And I'll drop those both off in the next like 48 hours. And it's completely complimentary. Would that be helpful?
Yeah, that sounds great, actually.
Perfect. I just have a couple of questions about the house. Can you tell me about any of the upgrades you've done since you've owned it?
We haven't done any upgrades because when we bought it, it was pretty new. It's still in great shape. I mean, we've only been here 5 years, so we haven't done anything, but I mean, we've kept it in really good condition.
Well, the one thing that you guys did really good was purchase it at the right time, right?
Right? Yes.
Yeah. Awesome job with that. Okay, so no upgrade. That's totally okay. Is everything, would you say it's still in the similar condition that you when you first purchased?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Okay. And which model do you have?
But I have Model B of it was a new construction.
Okay. And then how many bedrooms, bath, square footage?
It's 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 19 square feet.
4 bedroom, 2 bath, 1,900 square feet. Perfect. And it's all the same right there. Wonderful. I got that noted. Let's see here. Okay, perfect. And it's in the same condition. Great. Awesome. Hey, just curious. It's obviously a new development. You guys have only been there for a few years. How did you guys end up choosing this neighborhood?
I really like the schools around. That was the biggest factor.
School districts are amazing there. Wonderful. And just out of curiosity, if I know you guys don't have any plans on moving anytime soon, but if you guys were to move, where would you guys move to next?
I'm not sure. I mean, I would want to stay around this area, just because I did mention the schools are great. Again, I just was so curious to see how much equity we've built since we've lived here.
Well, the good news is this, Dahlia. You guys have definitely built a lot of equity. I'm familiar with the neighborhood. Some of those houses that have sold there recently are similar models. So I'm excited to give you the that information on there. And it sounds like when the time does come, you guys will obviously have enough equity to roll that over into a new purchase. And it sounds like based on what you're telling me that you guys would probably want to end up staying in that neighborhood. Is it to upsize to a larger home or would it be to downsize to a smaller home?
I would say I want to upsize to a new home. I would love a pool.
In that neighborhood with the amount of heat we get per year, I think a pool is necessary, right?
Yes, definitely.
I agree. Would it and the last couple of questions and we'll wrap it up here. Now you got to go. And when you said you need to upgrade to a larger home, do you need more bedrooms or just more living square footage or a combination of both?
I would say more living square footage would be nice just because we have 4 kids. But I mean, more interested in a bigger yard. And like I mentioned, I would love a pool. So we spend a lot of time outside. That's why I'm just considering maybe doing some work to the yard or just moving to another house.
Got it. Okay. So it sounds like what I hear you saying right now is the kids are growing up, they're getting big. You guys have friends and family over. They're probably inviting their friends, and you need a bigger yard space, bigger pool to entertain. Not so much more bedroom, but just more living space overall. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, that sounds good. And then last two questions. If you guys were to move, if we were able to help you list and sell your home in this market for top dollar, just like your neighbors did, and help you secure that 4 bedroom, 3 bath, 2,000 plus square foot home with the pool and bigger backyard and get you a really good deal on it, would you guys consider that option sooner rather than later?
I would. I would. I mean, I would have to talk to my husband, but I think we're both on the same boat.
Well, here's the good news. The good news is you and your husband are both in control. You don't need to sell the home. You want to sell the home. So if it does work out, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. So here's what I recommend. I'm going to go ahead and draft these two reports for you, just like I said I would. I'm going to send those over to you. And then what I'd like to do is schedule a 15-minute phone call with you, your husband, myself, and my preferred mortgage broker. Once you have the numbers on the home, we have a quick 15-minute consultation on the phone with a lender. And then the lender can give you one of two options. They can say, hey, based on what your agent is telling us your home is worth, you guys could qualify for this much home. Here's what the payment would be. Or maybe you guys are about another year or two out because of credit or something, and he'll give you solutions on how to fix your situation so that you guys can be ready. But nonetheless, once you have those two important pieces of information, the home and the mortgage information, then you and your husband can make a wholesome decision on what's best for you. Would that be helpful?
That's very helpful. But I do have one question. I keep
Yeah.
hearing everyone say that the interest rates are really high. I think that would be the only X factor that would hold us back because we have such a great interest rate. We have like a 4%, I believe. And I hear that right now they're like much higher than that. Um, I mean, in your opinion, would it be smart to sell and just at this time, or would you suggest waiting it out and see if the interest rates do drop?
Let me start off asking you this question. If you were to move, is it an investment move where you guys are going to stay there for a year or 2 years and then sell again and move out? Or are you purchasing this home and planning there to live there long term with your family to enjoy it?
A long term with the family and enjoy it.
Okay, the reason I asked that question is because there's two different strategies. If you're buying it to invest and to sell, I would probably say, probably not the right time for anyone to do real estate transactions if you're an investor. But if you're looking to make a move for the family long term so that you guys can enjoy it personally, then if that's the case, like you said it was, then it all comes down to the numbers. If we can help you buy a home, that's homeowner is willing to do something called a credit for a rate buy down. Then if the payment makes sense for you guys, it doesn't matter if the rates are 15%, 2%, 1%, as long as the payments are comfortable for you guys, right?
Yeah, I would agree on that.
So here's my recommendation. Let's just take our time. Let's go step by step. Let me just first generate the reports for you. I'll have those ready for you within 48 hours. I'll come drop them off in person, meet you face to face so we can put a face to it. And then we'll tentatively schedule an appointment with a broker for 15 minutes over the phone. Let's just see what the numbers look like there. And the one last thing I'll add on that you didn't ask for, I'll just start looking for 4-bedroom, 3-bath homes in the area with a pool and a larger backyard. Let's just see what the price points are for those. And hopefully it makes sense. Like I said, if it does, cool. You have the information. And if it doesn't, no harm. Sound good?
That sounds good. Thank you so much.
Perfect. Okay, Thalia, again, my name is Gabe Mendez with Senior Realty Group. If you have any, I'll text you my contact information. Otherwise, expect me tomorrow or 2 days from now with the reports and I'll come meet you at the door. Sound good?
Sounds good. Thank you, Gabe.
Okay, Thalia, have a good day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Thalia, give me your feedback first as a consumer, and then I want to hear the rest of the team. And then there's one thing we'll cover before, because we are over by 2 minutes.
That was great. I loved how you gave solutions. Like, I know it was like a very general question of like, hey, just want to know how much money I've made since I bought this house and if I can roll it over. You got it out of me. I was being very vague and saying, no, I just want to know like how much money we've made. But obviously there's an ulterior motive for someone to look up their equity, whether they're in a buying for cash or they do want a bigger home. So you did get that out of me. And I just wanted to ask about the interest rates because I know most of us, that's the number one question we're getting asked. So I just wanted to see how you went about that, especially when people are trying to sell and buy. So thank you for that. That was a great response.
Love that. Always remember, when someone calls you inquiring about simple information about buying or selling, it's in their mind. It's just up to you. The reason they're not committing to you is because they don't feel comfortable. And I'm not saying you, Thalia, or you, anyone on this call, I'm just mean as a person. The reason they're not committing to you is because they don't feel comfortable. And it's your responsibility to get them to feel comfortable. How do you do that? Get them to talk. Get them to open up. What do we do when we go to therapists, when we go to counselors? We're the ones doing all the talking. And by the end of the thing, we feel so freaking good. We're like, oh my gosh, she's the best counselor and therapist in the world. But you did all the talking. And then all they did was like, how would you handle that? What would you do here? Would you do that differently? It's like, yeah, I would. Great. I think you found your solution. And they kick your butt out of the chair. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's the greatest person in the world. All they did was ask you questions to get you to feel comfortable. So thank you for that, Thalia. One more person on the feedback, and then we're going to wrap up. I have one last thing I want to share with you before we wrap up the call. Anyone else? Takeaways?
I like that when you went back to her to talking to her, that you also mentioned that either way, I know it's not right now that you want to sell. So it makes her comfortable as in you're not being pushy. So I like that you respected that she mentioned like, oh, I'm not thinking of selling right now, but I just want to see.
Yeah, my job is I'm hands off. Look, I'm not trying to close you on the phone. I want to build a relationship with you. It's my first time talking to you, and I need you to feel comfortable. So I don't know if you guys noticed when I was talking with her on the thing, I was using my hands because I needed to genuinely feel the emotion. I'm like, no, it's just totally up to you. Like, you can do this or you can just do that. And I needed her to feel that emotion over the phone that I didn't care. So awesome takeaway right there, Evelyn. Last thing is this. I want to teach you guys, and we'll probably have to talk about this tomorrow because we are absolutely over time. Last thing is this. There are different tonalities when you speak. You have the tonality of curiosity, the tonality of anger, the tonality of peace, the tonality of genuine interest. When you have, and it's very important that you use these tonalities when you're talking to people. You have the tonality of authority, the tonality of being someone who's less than in inferiority. You have those different tonalities. So when you're speaking to someone, it's very important right off the bat, you establish the authority tonality. Hey, is this Talia? Yes. Talia, this is Gabe Mendez with the Singer Realty Group here at XP Realty. How's it going today? I want her to feel that authority. I'm in here. I'm energetic. Like, I'm going to control the conversation. And then I realized, okay, she's not as high energy. She's not as aggressive. Let me just tone it down a little bit, but still be curious. So, and the tonality of curiosity. So, I mean, just out of curiosity, how'd you guys choose a neighborhood? Like, I just sounded curious, like just curious. Like, how did it work? And my face even did this. My nose scrunched up and I went like this. I'm like, oh yeah, how did that work? Oh, no way. Okay. So it sounds like you guys do like the neighborhood. I'm just curious. I don't sound monotone. Oh, it sounds like you guys are curious. Oh, okay. Sounds like you guys really like the neighborhood. So, okay, if you guys wanted to move here, you just be like this. You have to change your tonalities. It's called tonality stacking. First, I'm authoritative. Then I get in rapport. Then I get curious. Then I start fact finding a little more. And then, hey, just out of curiosity. And then I go for the close at the very end. Stack your tonalities throughout the conversation. It's a roller coaster. Just don't talk in the same tonality the entire time. So go back, watch this video, listen to the replay. Look how I'm playing with my tonalities throughout the conversation with Thalia. Take those objection handlers, put them into your script, practice them. Tomorrow, we're going to come back, talk more about the tonalities, role play again. But make phone calls today. I want to hear some success stories tomorrow. I want to hear at least 2 or 3 people, separate people that made calls, set appointments. And if you run into problems, write those down and bring those to the phone call tomorrow. All right, SRG. Good talking to you guys.